What stood out about Houston's team defense and then the way Amin Thompson defended Steph?
Yeah, they were great. I mean, ball pressure, they forced 20 turnovers. They've been one of the hottest teams in the league and probably the best defensive team, in the league this last month, and they took it to us. They were great tonight.
Steve, you talked about Steph's fatigue in the last month, and obviously he's been carrying a huge offensive load over the last few games. Yeah. Do you think tonight was a symptom of fatigue, or do you think it was a bit more with his performance tonight?
I mean, it's this is the NBA season. You go through 82 games, and there's just games where you don't have it. Every player, no matter how good you are. So Steph didn't have it tonight. They did a great job defensively. Take tomorrow off and get ready for Phoenix, and you guys get to analyze everything. But it's all part of the season.
Steve, what was the most difficult part to try and fight against? I mean, they're a taller team, athletic, energetic, all those things. What are the hardest part about this team to play?
They have great size and athleticism, at pretty much every position. And Ime's done a great job. They've really established an identity, and they kind of know who they are. And so, great defensive team, and they played a really good defensive game tonight.
You have said, and many others have said many years, or true proof behind it is that, age can be a factor in the NBA. Is their age difficult to deal with because it brings a certain energy too?
Because they're young?
Yeah, I mean, is their age and energy combined a difficult thing to deal with for guys that have been on the road like you guys have been for a while?
They're a young team on the rise. They got a lot of good, talented young athletes, and they're playing well, and they just beat OKC 2 days ago, and like I said, one of the hottest teams in the league, and there's a reason, they're 52-27. They're great team.
This was the fifth matchup between you guys and the Rockets. It got testy at moments. How would you describe the tension between these two teams?
It's just competitive, It's two very competitive teams. You got a lot of guys out there who are fighting for everything and who care about everything, and this is how it's going to be. And this will be what the playoffs will present. So our guys know that, and they're up for the challenge. They've been through this many times.
And what was your message to Draymond at halftime after the way the end of his half ended?
I didn't have a message for him. Yeah. We were just planning for the second half. That was it.
Steve, how tricky was it? Obviously, you got Houston getting some offensive stuff, so you're playing defensive guys, GP2 and Looney, versus you realize, okay, we got to score some points here. How tricky was that kind of balance tonight?
Well, that's always the game, as a coach. Unless you just know your five guys who are, that you're always going to go with. We always have decisions to make based on offense and defense and whatever the balance is. We found, I thought Buddy and Gary off the bench really played well. We needed, Buddy's shooting. We needed Gary's ability to set the screen and dive against their blitzes, and he caught the ball in the pocket and made some really good plays. So I thought we had guys who stepped up and played well, but Houston just played a lot better than we did.
Steve, what do you think was the key reason for our loss today? I know you mentioned we have 20 turnovers, but they have 15 as well. Do you think the turnover is the biggest problem for today?
The key reason for the loss is Houston played a great game. Sometimes it's really simple. They played a great game. They played great defense. They deserve to win.
It looked like Draymond was really energized for that Şengün matchup. What do you think about Draymond's fire tipping into 5 fouls, a technical, and a flagrant?
I love Draymond's fire. There's a reason we got 4 banners up there. We wouldn't have any without Draymond. So I love his fire, and he was fighting out there. It just didn't go our way.
Steve, in a game where Steph only makes one shot, would you have wanted to see Jimmy be a little bit more aggressive in the second half to kind of galvanize you guys a bit more?
Yeah, I think when I watch the tape, I'll probably see some things that I could have done better just to get Jimmy more involved. And, we're still kind of learning you know, how to play, how to put this team together on certain nights. You know, Houston did change some matchups around. They had Şengün guarding Moses, you know, to try to disrupt our offensive flow, and they did a good job with that. So, you know, if we see them in the playoffs, we'll have this tape to look at, and we'll find ways to get Jimmy more involved for sure.
It looked like Ime Udoka had some words for Steph walking off the halftime.
For who?
Steph Curry. Ime Udoka was saying something to Steph as he walked off the court. Did you see that? Or
I didn't see it. Yeah.
For a minute there, you guys had the 4th seed, and now there's a 5-way tie for what 5, 6, 7, 8, or 4-way tie. How much do you think this is going to shift? Like on a day, is it going to be a daily basis the rest of the way going down the stretch? And are you guys watching it very closely?
Yeah, we're watching. I look at every score, and I look at the schedule for tomorrow and the next day. And the only thing I know for sure is if we win our last 4 games, we're not in the play-in. And that's we knew that coming into tonight. We needed to win 4 of our last 5. We might get a little help, so maybe we don't need to win all 4. But you can't worry about any of that. You just got to worry about the next game and keep winning. Our guys have done such an incredible job to climb up to this point, you know, where we were 6 weeks ago. What an incredible run this has been. But you're not going to win every game, and ran into a hot team, played a great game. You just quickly move on. So I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch the White Lotus, and then I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow. Just being honest. You know. Thank you.
That's pretty. That's pretty. Be shy.
I'll start with Steph. You guys have obviously won a lot of games recently, and not every single one, but you've won a ton. Is it a little shocking when you run into maybe a tougher moment, tougher game against a team that really seemed to give you guys trouble after the good run? What does this night feel like?
You just got to have perspective on, you know, the positives of what we've been able to build. We won a lot of, you know, tough games. We put strung together great performances, and we are still, you know, that team that is confident we can beat anybody. Tonight's was a rough night all the way around. They played great. We had some moments, but, you know, got to maintain the confidence that we're building towards our best selves come playoff time.
Jimmy just down there said he thinks you get fouled more than any player in the league or any player he's seen, something like that. Which just kind of your view on maybe tonight's physicality, but the bigger picture on how you beat that.
I don't know how to answer that question. Like, it's been around 16 years. You've seen it all. I don't ever expect to get calls. I don't ever go in looking for it, try to play basketball, try to play the way I, you know, do every night, battle through physicality, whatever. But if I need to say something, you say something, but I don't have any expectations.
Draymond, what's your view on?
You know my view.
He trying to set you up.
Referees, and you know my view.
Steph, over here, the Rockets obviously were just trying to deny you the ball the whole night, but I'm wondering with Amen Thompson guarding you, just what do you think of him as a defender, you know, especially on a Rockets team that's kind of their identity?
That's why he's out there for 30-plus minutes a night, because that's how he helps them win. He's kind of relentless. He's a supreme athlete, and has found his lane on, again, how he can be impactful. So you tip your hat to him, and he's gotten a lot better every time you kind of you face him.
Guys, what are the keys to beating a team like this, young, athletic team, and what did you guys not do tonight that you expect to do if you see him again?
Well done.
Just got to take better care of the ball. You know, when they struggled to score in the half court a bit. So when you give them run out layups. They makes them a lot. It makes anybody tough to guard, but just take care of better care of the ball. Get to our spots so you can see the pressure. They pressure a lot. You get bunched up. It works to their advantage. So you just got to get better space, and then it allows you to handle the pressure better.
Draymond, how would you describe what was going on with you and Şengün there? Were you trying to get the energy up? Is that kind of how that started? And then what did you think about the flagrant call?
I mean, the flagrant call, I don't know what to do. Go for, duck. Don't go for the layup. The tech, I'm not going to stop because the referee say stop and give up position. I already give up 6 inches and 50 pounds. So it is what it is.
He made a reservation at International Smoke, and then he canceled it. And so I was kind of upset with him, and we went back and forth on that.
Yeah.
You like that one?
Plug.
Yeah, I know. You're in the business now.
You
Yes.
show up to Mesquite either, so it was hot.
Yes, sir.
Steph, you guys played the Rockets in a previous iteration of the Rockets in a lot of really important, huge games. Obviously, there was a rivalry there. You haven't faced this version in a big moment, but you could. Does it feel like there's a rivalry or a tension or something going on with you two guys, above and beyond just the basketball?
Nah, there's nothing from the past. There's just two great teams just trying to win a basketball game. You understand there could be matchups down the road, but you cross that path when you get there. They're the second seed in the West, so they're a really good team. They've been beating, teams all year in different ways, so you got to take them seriously. They've proven during this regular season that they're a tough team any given night, but we don't carry any stuff from the past, and whatever happens in the future, we'll cross when we get there.
More to the game the other night when you suggested to get Guy in there. You guys have talked about, or Steve's talked about a lot about how there's going to be different guys for different nights. How do you think other guys are taking that? Like it might be somebody's night one night and then another night for someone else. Do you talk to them about like, you can't get frustrated, this is the way it is? How is that kind of working with those guys?
From my perspective, it's way better than it was pre-trade. I think we've had a really good certain level of consistency for rotations and knowing who's going to be out there at certain times throughout the game, knowing who you're going to play with. There's obviously the question of closing lineups and who the 5 guys are going to be based on matchups, based on who's playing well, all that type of stuff. But when you're winning, it's just a commitment to being ready for your moment. And whatever that means, embrace it. And I think we've done a really good job of that since February, and our record is kind of reflective of that.
They spent stretches of tonight's game, playing with 2 bigs, playing with 1 big, playing with Jabari at center. How would you compare and contrast those 3 looks, I suppose?
For the most part, you make adjustments. Anything we did tonight wasn't really reflective of their lineups. It was more kind of self-inflicted, where we turn, like Draymond was talking about, we turn the ball over, get up offensive rebounds, not execute on the offensive end. So kind of everything was bad, but they have different looks. They play zone. They had 2 bigs. Whatever it is, we can adjust to all of that. We just didn't do it tonight.